Hey guys, welcome back. As you know, our hobby is trending towards more economy style locomotives, rolling stock, and different components. There is a real emphasis in the hobby now to start erring towards the caution of lower priced items to bring more people in the hobby, make things more affordable for modelers, because as you know, it's very expensive in this hobby. It has the ability to be expensive. You can always model for cheap if you find ways. But one way that we've really been able to find a way to model cheap and have sound is the new Econami. This is the ECO-100 diesel. This MSRP is for $79.95, which is about 15 bucks when you consider all the discounts and everything and the street prices of these things. You're talking about $15 to $20 less than a full-out Tsunami decoder. But the Econami has a lot of cool things. We're going to go over a lot of the details in our review of the Econami. Now this is an Athearn ready-to-roll locomotive. It's very improved upon in weight, so it's got a lot more pulling power than the old RTRs did. But I've installed the Econami in here, so we're going to actually go over some of the functions. I'll tell you about the decoder. We'll cover all sorts of details starting right now, so let's take a look. So that's the startup sequence for the Econami. There's a few things I want to talk about regarding this locomotive and the decoder, which is obviously the Econami real quick. So I'm going to silence the locomotive. I did want you to hear the startup sequence, so I placed it on the track, obviously on camera. So let's go ahead and silence it and talk about some details. So the ECO-100 is basically their smallest 1 amp sound decoder. The measurements for the decoder, before I put it in, I should have kind of showed you on camera, but it's 27 millimeters by 10.5 millimeters by 5 millimeters. So there's 16 sound bits, a 1 watt amplifier with 4 outputs on it. So I think I mentioned before that the MSRP was $79.95. So let's go over some specs. For that $79.95, what you're getting is 12 polyphonic sound channels, 34 functions, and 20 hyperlight effects. Now, they've got flex map technology, which allows basically math-free mapping of any function to any function key. And then they've got this Hyperdrive 2, which is an advanced motor control for improved slow speed performance right out of the box, or out of the package, I should say. So we'll be able to test all that with this locomotive. We'll test it at low speeds and see how it operates. So in addition to having like prime mover selection, the diesel features auto manual RPM notching mode, which means you can you have default settings that support auto notching and function activated manual notching basically simultaneously. You've got basically control of the engine's RPM sound effect across the 8 notches with an RPM plus and minus function key, and it allows the decoder to automatically regulate the RPM notching in response to throttle changes, so that's an improvement. You've got the ability to enable manual notching with engine interlock. You've got dynamic braking mode selections where you can select dynamic brake modes to alter the engine RPM notch setting with dynamic brake function turned on. You've got selectable sound effects. Basically, you can select from prime movers and exhaust chucks, 16 air horns or whistles, several bells, up to 5 ring rates, air compressors, couplers, etc. You can change the CV roster you can customize motor, lighting, and sound effects. There's 6 lighting outputs, allowing 20 hyperlight effects that I talked about earlier. So lots of stuff to cover in this. But we're not going to be able to drag out the review forever, obviously, so we got to pick some of these things to test out. And basically what I do when a manufacturer asserts something, I want to actually test it. So they say that there's improved slow motor control. Let's check out this motor control at 1 speed step. I'm going to turn sound back on so you can hear notching and things like that. Check reverse at 1 speed step. Very smooth. There's no jerks at 1, so that's good. Seems like 1 is a little quick, but there's no jerks or anything. Oh, that's my fault. I have, let's see, 1 out of 126, so pretty good speed control. Pretty slow, really. Not really as fast as I thought now that I'm kind of looking at the wheel rotating around here. So I agree with their assertion that there's improved speed control. Now let's listen to some sounds. I picked a horn, but there's several horns to choose from. So 16 actual horns or whistles for diesel. Obviously it's going to be horns. So let's go ahead and leave this puppy back up and listen to one of the horn selections here. Let's go over a bell too. So here we go. Bell. Horn. It's still the long horn, believe it or not. Seems like there's an improved response time from some previous tsunamis that I've seen, where there's a little bit of lag. This seems very touchy. So this is the long horn, and I'm just barely touching the button right now. F3, which is the short horn. So kind of a test you can do to see how responsive the horn is shaving a haircut. So let's try that. Yeah, F2 lagged for just a second longer, and probably a little bit of operator error too, but overall I think there's a bit of an improved response time. You've got we talked about the RPM plus and minus. Let's go ahead and test that feature. RPM plus is F5. And do that all the way to notch 8. And the minus is actually going to be F6. We'll return back to normal. Another one I noticed I haven't seen on tsunamis out of the box is the grade crossing signal. I'll go ahead and hit that. That's F9. So pretty quick grade crossing signal there. Correct to the actual railroad rules. Too long is the short and the long. So now we're going to go ahead and start messing with CVs a little bit here. I got program on the main. And I'm going to go to CV 120, which is horns. And there's some different horns to choose from. Let's try the Nathan K5 LLA, which is value of 1. That's a value of 1 for K5LA. Let's try this again with a different one. try the Nathan let's try Nathan P5. CV120 again to number 3 this time. Try the Wabco A2. Which is CV120 to a value of 8. And last we'll try the Leslie S3L. Which is a value of 14. So that is kind of a quick rundown of the sounds. I say quick even though this video is going to be long because of it. We chose about 5 or 6 different sounds for you to listen to, including the one that it was set on, which I don't recall what I set it to. There's also 5 prime movers you can change by CV123, which is the EMD 567 non-turbo, EMD 645 turbo, EMD 710 turbo, the GE FDL-16, which is a modern version, and the Alco 244. So those are some prime movers. You've got other CVs like the volume of the horn and bell, acceleration, deceleration, etc. But that basically wraps up some of our look into the ECO-100 Econami sound decoder from Soundtraxx. So pretty awesome decoder, and we'll probably have follow-up videos on this type of decoder to cover some different things and things that we weren't able to cover in this review due to time. Well, that wraps up our review of the Soundtraxx Econami sound decoder. Pretty good price, especially when you consider the discounts out there. You're looking at the $60 range for a sound decoder. So lots of functions and lots of capabilities from this decoder. It is definitely something that will save you a few bucks in model railroading. And then Soundtraxx has also said that they're still working on the next Tsunami, so that's in the progress. Obviously, they're always looking to improve. It's no secret really, but they're working on stuff going forward that will improve their sounds and products and things like that. So we look forward to more from Soundtraxx, but this is cool because it meets a need in the hobby for some more economical stuff. Keep in mind, the more economical you can get, the more you can get people into the hobby without scaring them away with price tags. So that's why I really kind of like companies like Bachmann. Some people are, you know, just intent on a bunch of detail, but I see a lot of need for companies like Bachmann because they bring people in the hobby. And now we've got Soundtraxx actually looking at things and other companies looking at ways to lower the price, which brings people in the hobby. So we're actually ensuring our future as a hobby anyway, by having this type of product and these type of low price products available for sale. Thanks for watching, guys, and we'll see you next time right here on my channel. Take care.